If you found this video, it's not random. Something is moving in your life, even if you can't see it yet. Right now, you are standing at a doorway, and the next step could change everything. The question is, are you ready to step through? Many people think life moves in circles, repeating the same patterns, but in truth, life moves in spirals. We often revisit the same themes, the same struggles, but each time from a higher place, with deeper awareness, with more wisdom. That is why what you're facing now may feel familiar, but it is not the same. It is your second spiritual awakening, calling you. The first awakening shakes you, cracks you open, makes you question everything you once believed to be true. It is like being struck by lightning, a sudden realization that nothing in this world is permanent, that there is more than what your eyes can see. But the second awakening is different. It is deeper, quieter, not always loud like thunder, but subtle like the shifting of the wind. It comes when your soul is ready to peel back another layer of illusion, when you are ready to live from truth rather than fear. You may notice that old desires no longer excite you the way they used to. The things you once chased now feel empty, like eating food without taste. And though the world around you still moves with noise and speed, you begin to feel a quiet voice inside asking, is this all there is? This second awakening often comes with a sense of loss. Loss of identity, loss of belonging, loss of direction. You may feel like you are in between worlds. Not fully here, not fully there. It is like being a butterfly halfway out of the cocoon, wings trembling but not yet ready to fly. And yet, this is not the end, but the sacred transition. The emptiness you feel is not a punishment. It is space being cleared. It is the universe preparing you to carry a greater light, to see life not with the eyes of the mind, but with the vision of the heart. In this stage, you may lose people. Friends may drift away. Old relationships may fall apart because the frequency you carry no longer matches theirs. It is not betrayal. It is alignment. The river of your soul is flowing in a new direction, and not everyone is meant to travel with you. Loneliness becomes a teacher here. It teaches you that silence is not emptiness, but fullness. That solitude is not a cage, but a sanctuary. In the quiet, you learn to listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the whisper of your own soul. And then, something begins to shift. Slowly, gently, you start to feel connected again. Not in the old way, but in a new one. You begin to see the divine in everything. The wind, the laughter of a stranger, the pain that once broke you. All of it becomes sacred. All of it becomes one. This second awakening is not about leaving the world, but returning to it with new eyes. You live in the same place, walk the same streets, meet the same faces, but everything feels different. Life becomes less about chasing and more about being. And so I ask you again, if life has led you here, if you feel the stirring inside, if you know you're standing at the doorway of something greater, are you ready to step through? Because once you do, nothing will ever be the same. 1. The pause before change. Think about the moment before sunrise, when the entire sky holds its breath in darkness, not moving, not rushing, as if the world itself is waiting for something unseen to awaken. That silence feels empty, almost lifeless, yet within it there is an invisible pulse. Like the hidden heartbeat of the universe, preparing to rise again. Just as the sun does not appear instantly, but slowly gathers its light behind the veil. Our lives too often enter a season where everything looks still, unclear, and heavy, and yet beneath that stillness, something new is quietly forming. We mistake the quiet for absence. We think nothing is happening, but the truth is, silence is never empty. It is the soil where the next chapter of our becoming is germinating. Have you ever noticed that in the deepest winter, when the trees stand bare and lifeless, inside their roots new life is already preparing? waiting for the signal of spring? Life is like that. The darkness before dawn, the pause before the first note of music, the emptiness before creation. These are not endings. They are beginnings disguised as silence. And sometimes, when everything you've known feels stripped away, when the noise of the world suddenly disappears, it is not because you are broken, but because the universe is clearing space inside you for something greater to arrive. That silence may feel heavy, even unbearable, but like the sky before sunrise, it is only a pause, a holy stillness, a sacred preparation for light that has not yet appeared. Can you trust that silence, even when it feels endless, even when it frightens you, knowing that silence itself is a language, and its message is always, something is on its way? Trust the pause before change, for in that pause, life is shaping you into someone who can carry the light that is coming. 2. Why most people get stuck. Many people stumble right at the very threshold of transformation, not because they lack potential, but because they are too eager to control the process. They want certainty, proof, and immediate results. As if the universe is a machine that responds to commands instead of a mystery that unfolds in its own rhythm. Have you noticed how restless the mind becomes when it demands outcomes? It grasps for guarantees, it clings to plans, it wants to measure and calculate every step. And yet, life is not an equation to be solved. It is a song to be heard, a fragrance to be breathed in. A flower does not rush itself to bloom. It does not force its petals open with impatience. It simply rests in the quiet, knowing that when the sun warms the earth and the season is right, it will unfold in perfect beauty. The river does not push against its own current. It simply flows, winding naturally, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, yet always finding its way to the vast ocean. It trusts gravity. It trusts the unseen pull that guides it home. But when we humans try to force, when we push against life, we create resistance. And in resistance, we suffer. The more we clutch, the more it slips through our fingers. The more we demand, the more the universe seems silent. Real receiving begins the moment we soften. When we stop grasping, stop chasing, stop trying to bend the universe to our will, and instead lean back into trust. In that surrender, the energy begins to flow, and life itself begins to reveal its hidden generosity. Imagine yourself sitting by a tree, not asking it to grow faster, not commanding it to bear fruit instantly. You simply sit in its shade, appreciating its presence, trusting that its roots are deepening in silence, preparing for the unseen harvest to come. The truth is, what keeps most people stuck is not a lack of desire, but a lack of trust. They demand proof before they surrender. But the mystery of life doesn't work that way. Faith opens the door, not control. Receptivity calls forth miracles, not force. And so the invitation here is simple but profound. Let go of the pressure. To make it happen, release the grip, soften your heart, and allow life to come to you in ways you could never predict. The moment you stop trying to control everything, you will notice life has been waiting all along to meet you halfway. 3. The shift in energy. There's a moment in our lives when we begin to sense the difference between constantly wanting something and truly allowing ourselves to receive it. And this difference, though subtle, changes the entire rhythm of how we move through life. Wanting always feels like reaching out into the distance, as if stretching your hand towards something that never seems close enough, always slipping further away, no matter how much effort you put in. Receiving, on the other hand, feels like resting back into yourself, like leaning into a current that already knows where to carry you, like finally taking a deep breath and realizing you were already home. Imagine yourself as someone who no longer needs to chase, someone who simply stands still, radiating such a natural presence that peace, love, and abundance are drawn toward. You as if you were the sun and everything else were simply flowers turning in your direction. Perhaps you've already noticed this in your own life. Those mysterious moments when you stop trying so hard, and suddenly, the very thing you were seeking appeared as if by grace. The phone call from the right person comes out of nowhere. The opportunity you had been dreaming of arrives at your feet without warning, or a calmness that you couldn't force washes over you in silence. This is the quiet, invisible power of receiving energy. It is not about chasing life, but allowing life to move toward you, because when you are aligned, the universe cannot help but respond. Wanting often comes from the mind, from the belief that we are incomplete until we achieve or possess something. But receiving comes from the heart, from the knowing that we are already holed out in receiving. There is no desperation, no clinging, no pushing against the current, only the gentle opening of hands and spirit, as if whispering to life, I am ready, and I trust you. When you shift from wanting to receiving, your energy transforms. You move from tension into softness, from resistance into flow, and you become magnetic without even realizing it. And it is in this quiet state of resting in your own completeness that peace enters. Love arrives and abundance takes root, because what you are is no longer a seeker, but a vessel wide open for life to pour into. 4. The final test. And here is the hidden truth that so many souls overlook. Right before the light of transformation breaks through, life often feels the darkest, the heaviest, or the most unbearably still, as if everything has abandoned you. Decoded is in this silence, this emptiness, this unbearable weight, that the universe is quietly shaping you, preparing you, stretching the unseen roots of your spirit so that you may carry the bloom that is to come. Imagine the seed buried beneath the earth. To the eye above, it looks like death, like nothing is moving, like all is lost. Yet inside, the seed is splitting open, breaking apart, and releasing the hidden life that has been waiting to rise. This is the paradox. What feels like your ending is often the trembling beginning of your next birth, and what looks like silence is the hidden symphony of creation moving in a language beyond sound. So many mistake this stillness for failure. They think nothing is happening. They think they are forgotten. But in truth, they are in the sacred womb of transformation, where the soul is being rewoven. This pause is not punishment. It is a gestation, a deep inhale of the universe before the great exhale of your destiny. Like the hush before dawn when the whole world holds its breath for the first light. And perhaps this very silence, this stillness, this waiting that you resist, is the final test before a new reality opens. Asking you, can you trust when nothing moves? Can you surrender when nothing answers? Can you hold faith when the ground beneath you feels empty? Because if you can trust the unseen, if you can bow to the silence, if you can endure the stillness without fleeing, then you are no longer a prisoner of circumstance. You are becoming the very space in which miracles appear. This, then, is the hidden door. The final test is not about how strong you fight, but how deeply you trust. Not about what you can prove, but how much you can allow. Not about what you can control, but what you can release. And when you finally let go into this sacred stillness, you will see that the silence was never empty. It was full of the new world waiting to be born through you. 5. Stepping into new identity. Imagine, just for a moment, that you are standing at the threshold of a doorway that leads into the life you have always dreamed of. A life where every part of you feels aligned, where your heart, your mind, and your spirit walk as one. Beyond that doorway is not a stranger, but a version of you that has already walked through the trials, the doubts, and the fears, and has emerged radiant, calm, and powerful, like a soul who has remembered its true home. This future self, luminous and serene, is not somewhere far away in time. It is right here, whispering through the fabric of the present moment, calling you to rise into the truth of who you already are. Then you feel the subtle pull, like the tide of an invisible ocean moving beneath your feet, drawing you gently but firmly toward that identity that was waiting for you all along. Every doubt, every hesitation, every voice that tells you you are not ready is nothing but an echo of an old chapter, like a page that no longer belongs to the story you are writing now. And as you breathe into this moment, as you soften the resistance and let go of the tension in your chest, you begin to feel the edges of your reality bending, as though life itself is rearranging to honor your new becoming. The identity you seek is not something you chase. It is something you allow, like opening your hands to receive the sunlight that has always been shining upon you. Say to yourself, with quiet power, I am ready to receive what is already mine, and feel how the vibration of those words ripple through your being, awakening dormant parts of your soul that have long been waiting to rise. Each time you declare your readiness, reality bends just a little more, like the fabric of time folding itself to meet you halfway, carrying you into the path where you no longer just dream of your future. You step into it. And in that stepping, you are not becoming someone new. You are remembering someone eternal, someone who has always been here, waiting for you to come home to yourself. If you are hearing these words right now, let me remind you, with all the softness of truth, you are not late, you have not missed your chance, you are not behind. Your life is unfolding in divine timing, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. Every silence you have endured, every pause that felt unbearable, every empty season you thought was wasted, none of it was meaningless, because all of it was preparation, shaping you in ways unseen, strengthening the soil of your soul for the seeds that are about to bloom. Your breakthrough may not be far away. It may not be next year or next month. It may be closer than your very next breath, arriving the moment you finally surrender into the flow that has been waiting to carry you forward. So I invite you, right here, right now, to pause for a single sacred moment and choose one word. Just one that you are ready to release, one weight you are willing to put down, so that your hands may finally be free to receive what has been yours all along. Let that word flow from your heart into the comments below, not as a routine action, but as a ritual, as a way of declaring to the universe, I am ready to let this go, so I can fully step into who I am becoming. And if this message speaks to you, if something in your spirit feels stirred or awakened, then I invite you to like this video and subscribe. Not as a passive gesture, but as an act of alignment, as a quiet but powerful yes to this new frequency of life calling you forward. Because every yes you whisper, every small step of faith you take, becomes the bridge between the life you are leaving and the life that is waiting, the bridge between silence and song, between longing and fulfillment. So may you trust the unseen. May you lean into the quiet spaces with courage, and may your next step reveal the beauty that has always been waiting for you, just beyond the veil of what you can see. And as you walk forward, may you never forget, you are not late, you are right on time, and your life, even now, is carrying you into the miracle of your own becoming.